We have witnessed a truly thrilling encounter that was there at Chepauk. For one brief moment, we thought that MS Dhoni could pull off a miracle. You have all seen that in the past, whenever MS Dhoni is there at the crease, even at the age of 41 or 42, he still brings hopes to a billion cricket fans. That is his magic. Yes, it can be argued that MS Dhoni actually made it very difficult for himself when he could not attack in the 16th and 17th over. Rajasthan Royals and Sanju Samson knew that MS Dhoni would struggle a bit against the spinners, although he hit a boundary and a six of Adam Zampa. Against Chahal and against Ashwin, he just could not get going, and that is why, unfortunately, Chennai Super Kings lost by 3 runs. 40 runs were needed of the last 2 overs, and they just managed 3. It was a case of so near yet so far, and Rajasthan Royals, ever since Shane Warne's team in 2008, they have finally breached the Chepauk fortress. 15 years later, it needed something extraordinary, and despite MS Dhoni doing MS Dhoni things, it was not enough. But social media just could not get enough of MS Dhoni's exploits. They still hailed this man, and that is the reason why MS Dhoni is an emotion for many people. He gives you hope, he gives you joy, he gives you despair, all in extreme measures. And in this social media reaction, everybody has just hailed the brilliance of MS Dhoni. There is hardly any criticism. But looking at the overall picture, if you have to say, MS Dhoni, unfortunately, the 2 overs that he was there, he just could not negotiate the spinners aggressively enough. Yes, Adam Zampa was the exception, but UZ Chahal and Ravichandran Ashwin ensured that Chennai would be playing catch up from the word go. 40 of 12. It was kind of miraculous in 2012 and 2013 in that period, but not every day you can be a Rinku Singh, not every day you can get 26 or 21 runs in 1 over. It has happened in the past. Dhoni himself hit 23 runs in 1 over against Akshar Patel. He had hit 24 runs against Umesh Yadav, but Chennai lost that match by 1 run. So 3 runs. It's a very fine margin, and it is on this that Sanju Samson, the Rajasthan Royals skipper, paid the ultimate tribute. When there was a photo of MS Dhoni and Sanju Samson together, it was the teacher with the student. The student today outwitted the teacher by just 3 runs. It was smart captaincy from Sanju Samson, and in a way he got the better of MS Dhoni in that. But in the post-match presentation, he paid the ultimate tribute for Dhoni when he said, "No data, nothing works against MS Dhoni. You have to respect the guy and what he can do." Brilliant tribute indeed from Sanju Samson. He may not have had a good time with the bat, but Sanju Samson, as one of the captains in the IPL, is right up there with the very best. His captaincy today was simply magnificent. This is Thor the Hammer. He's one of the mythical figures who's considered as one of the best heroes that's there. But one of the Twitter users said, 41-year-old MS Dhoni hitting sixes. Fantastic stuff indeed. He has been hitting sixes for fun. I mean, you look at it in 2020, 2021, he would hit sixes very sporadically, 2022 even, but 2023, those 2 sixes that he hit of Mark Wood, even here against Sandeep Sharma, and also 1 6 that he hit against Gujarat Titans, it was fantastic to watch indeed. When it comes to the 20th over, no one can beat MS Dhoni, because one of the users pointed out the stat, MS Dhoni in the 20th over in the IPL, 693 runs, 282, strike rate of 245, 57 sixes and 49 fours, 57 sixes. No one has more sixes than him in the 20th over, the greatest of all time. So MS Dhoni, 20th over, you take him there, he can conjure up magic. It's happened so many times. 2010 against Punjab Kings. Then it's happened so often in 2019. It's happened in 2012. It's happened so many times. MS Dhoni, 2018 even. So many times MS Dhoni has been vintage in the death overs, especially in the 20th over. But the problem nowadays with MS Dhoni is that if you give spin to him at the very beginning, he will struggle. It's time we acknowledge that very aspect, that MS Dhoni struggles against spin a lot more now. because 16 overs, 17 overs, and almost half of 18 overs, he just could not do it. Those two, that 1-4 and 1-6 that he hit of Adam Zampa kind of tapered over the cracks because he just could not get going of Chahal and Ashwin. When the Pacers came on, you knew that MS Dhoni will go after them because he plays pace much more comfortably now than spin. One of the users who's a big MS Dhoni fan, he said for decades, he gives you the hope. It's possible. It happens or not is secondary. But that you believe he can is his biggest contribution. I will agree with it. See, even in the post-match show, I did criticize MS Dhoni. But why did I criticize him? Because of this one particular point. You believe he can. I believe MS Dhoni can do it. But now in this era, it is difficult now because bowlers have warmed up to the fact that you can tie MS Dhoni down. You just need one good ball. Sandeep Sharma, after those 2 sixes, he nailed 3 good balls. So every time an equation of 21 or 25 of the last over is very much next to impossible. We are all saying, oh, but Rinku Singh did it. But let me tell you, Rinku Singh's effort at that game against Gujarat Titans was once in 12,000 white ball games. 1 in 12,000. That is how low the probability is. Every time 23 runs, 24 runs, 26 runs, 28 runs in the final over, it is very, very difficult. But MS Dhoni has insisted that this is his strength. Yes, it could be his strength, but now he perhaps might not be acknowledging the fact that yes, maybe it's 2023, I need to modify my strength slightly. When a 42-year-old MS Dhoni bats in the last over, still the bowlers feel fear. We lost, but he did his best. Take a bow, MS Dhoni, one of the users who said here, yes, bowlers are still fearful of an MS Dhoni. Let us be very, very careful. That's why they have upped the ante when it comes to bowling good balls. Sandeep Sharma tried. 3 balls he didn't succeed, but the next 3 balls he nailed it. And that is why 20 plus runs, if you are experienced, and remember Sandeep Sharma is no spring chicken. He has been there in the domestic circuit. He's been very unlucky to not get a consistent India call-up because from 2012 till now, he's been a very good IPL bowler. So kudos to Sandeep Sharma for delivering 2 to 3 good balls. And I had mentioned in the post-match show, 24 runs of Umesh Yadav, but they needed 26. It needed 1 good ball to ensure all the effort that MS Dhoni had done came to nil. I end this with one of the tweets that is here. MS Dhoni at the age of 41 is still hitting sixes, which is a perfect nostalgic moment for cricket fans. Mahi way. Yes, in his language, in his cricketing encyclopedia, there is only one way, and that is the Mahi way. Yes, we all love MS Dhoni. Yes, as the white ball captain, he has been one of the greatest ever in the history of the game. But there are certain statistics that do not lie. And that is, he is a T20 legend, IPL legend, ODI legend. But in T20I's internationals, when it comes to finishing, he has often been found wanting. Superman has had flaws. MS Dhoni is only a mortal. He can have some flaws. But that is why I go back to this tweet. You believe he can. That is why I believed that MS Dhoni can conjure up miracles. But I also believe it is not possible every single time. It just can't be done. So, MS Dhoni's Chepauk fortress has been breached by the Rajasthan Royals. And that's why now Rajasthan Royals have gone to the top of the league. Sanju Samson will be very, very happy with it. But remember, Chennai Super Kings will really be looking to bounce back. Remember, their next encounter is the Kaveri Derby, and that will be as intense as it can be. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.